these facts so much.
Dude, there were legit 5 jokes running through
Imagine right now where you come from. Big Ugly. Yeah, that checks out. That ain't surprising at all.
Big Ugly, West
Just look at your
Virginia.
ID. Are you the mayor?
Because, like, even, like, out of context, it's just like Big Ugly, West Virginia. It's like, hey, our state isn't that bad. It's like, no, I'm just saying a city. It's a place that exists.
Big Ugly, comma, West Virginia. Oh, I would hate it.
Oh, legitimately.
Imagine you're a basketball star hailing from Big Ugly, West Virginia.
Nintendo absolutely knows about the internet Triton because like a couple months after the Bowsette thing happened, they changed the crown's description. It was just like, only Toadette can wear this crown. So it's just like, kill that noise. Martin Luther King Jr. earned a C in his public speaking class during his 2 semesters in seminary school.
Who is that teacher?
Who's the dude?
Okay, is it a white teacher? And is that the reason why?
Let me go.
Who was the dude that... Because you know you gotta wake up one day,
just
20 years later.
That move changed everything.
And I gave him a motherfucking C.
He wrote the I Have a Dream speech in school. He's just like, why are you writing about dreams? Dreams are for children.
You'll never make it, Martin. This is trash.
Or does the dude wake up like, yeah, my C incentivized him to get better?
Y'all know I was his teacher.
Yeah.
And I told him that I was pushing him to do better.
Apply yourself.
Oh my goodness.
You can go one or 2 ways with that way. Either A, I'm a fraud, or B, I'm inspiring people so hard that I inspired the civil rights movement. Just through my teaching.
It's just some like physicist teacher in like the 30s is like, oh man, look, I'm looking through all these old papers that I got, physics papers. Look at this D- I gave to this kid named Albert Einstein.
Oh, no, surely that can't be the same one.
Dude, imagine Stephen King in a creative writing class. It's like, C-, sir, your adjectives, I don't know what you're doing. A dog with rabies, what's up? In Tupac in math class, the teacher just comes up, Tupac, what I tell you about writing raps in class? You're not gonna make it with this. You need these numbers. Get some bucks in you. And then 4 years later, you gotta dance around to slip up. You in the club banging it. You know I taught Sue Tupac. Oh, dude, I would never sleep.
I'd be shaking.
The PS5 in a year has outsold the Wii U's lifetime sales.
Y'all leave the Wii U alone. He tried his best.
Hey, consumers did.
Accurate.
That's not.
Yes, it is.
Early
Yes, it is.
adopter.
Exactly what we're going for.
Ooh.
Oh, dude, I will never forget that woman with all them Wii U's in the back of her car, thinking she was gonna flip them boys.
Oh, someone tried to do that near you guys?
No, it's a viral picture.
Oh, okay. I don't remember
You
that.
never seen it?
No.
Oh, dude, I'll look it up.
I think I've seen this.
It's unfortunate. Let's see what else we got. Well, actually.
Yep, all I had to look up was Wii U woman.
Wii U woman. Oh, this is gonna be
Get
good.
some. Get some, y'all.
Let's see, Wii U woman.
No, I already got it on for you.
Oh, okay.
Where's it going?
He posted it in chat.
Oh, okay. I can look at it.
Oh no.
Scalper beautifully boned.
Oh, those are like even. Ooh. There's probably like 2 per box in the boxes behind her too. Yikes.
That boy's in a back seat and everything.
Yeah, you can see him on the console. Dude, this is at least 10?
She's like, this is my retirement.
Yeah, she thought she was gonna flip these for double, because remember, the Wii was having supply issues, so this is the...
Flop.
You know.
Did that make it?
Barely. Hello,
Yes.
everyone, and welcome back to the Podcast of Stuff, episode 305. We do flop and flounder all the damn time.
That is specifically what we're good at.
Yep. Is that a Team
We
4-star
are
shirt?
so good at being
That is a
flop.
classic shirt. Is that a Team 4-star shirt, or is that just a DBZ shirt?
Just a DBZ shirt.
Okay.
It's old as shit though. Do you recognize this one?
I feel like I've seen it for a while.
This was the first shirt I bought at the first Youmacon we all went to together.
Boy.
This is the original con swag.
Of a memory of better times.
Were they better times? Were they?
They were good enough.
For me? For me, no, they were infinitely not good times.
At the con, they were fine for all of us except DA, typically.
Yes. No, talking con-wise, yes. Better con days.
Just,
If we're talking life-wise, I am in an infinitely better
I'm just
place.
saying, in general, in terms of like the back half of this decade, where you were like autographs all the time. Just, I feel like Saturday evening, we would like find you in an elevator, just like.
Yeah.
How'd it go,
Yeah.
DA? Not good.
And it never went well.
I mean, let's face it, the last few cons, we'd be like, hey, DA, I'm not coming anywhere near y'all. Y'all do your thing.
Like, the one time I think, actually, you know what? That's just, that's mentioning last Youmacon. Or not Youmacon, last MatsuriCon. And let's not bring up those bad times. I was like,
That was almost good.
It was.
Almost.
Yeah.
It was almost good.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Then it was pretty good. But it was horrible because of the other stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it was a whole mess.
That was, jeez. Okay. So, have a few topics to talk about. We aren't backed up for like a month now of
We
different
can
things.
clear the first order of business that you asked about before we started real quick.
Oh, well,
So-
before that, just, get it out of the way. The weekly reminder. We're back to weekly.
It's getting remembered early.
Yeah, the weekly reminder until next week where we won't have a podcast because I'll be out of town. Black Lives Matter, stop Asian hate, get your vaccines and
Worthless.
boosters, especially now. New vaccine out now, or new booster out now. Go
Hey,
fucking get it.
We can't get it till October 20th.
You're fine. You have antibodies.
They not enough. I need them all.
Get your vaccine. Get your vaccine and boosters. Wear your masks in crowded indoor places, or be like these schmucks and get COVID. Support Ukraine. Support LGBTQ rights. Support body autonomy. Pay your employees what they are worth, and be good to one another. How you guys
not-
feeling
all
now?
things are
Actually,
not
So
possible.
you ran out of the count?
No, because was he just like, you'd be like these guys? I was like, it's your fault, and then he was rambling on, and then he had done 2 or 3, and I was just like, was it? And then I put up a finger, and he had already done going on to the next one. So I was like, did I count this one or this one? It was already gone. So I've lost.
oh, how many people you infected? Was that what you were
No.
counting?
How many things are on the weekly reminder?
As far as we know, we infected 0 other people.
Okay. All right.
Even our brother that lives with us, like, he took basically no precautions. and he
I
didn't get it.
took the precaution.
What do you mean?
You didn't see that big old thing of Lysol?
Oh, yeah, no.
I was wiping. And...
I masked up when I left my room and all of this stuff. And that dude, boom-ba-doom-ba. Trash.
Yeah, oh, that was. I did the same shit when I had it.
DA wouldn't have caught it if y'all were just like, well, we can podcast without PG, well, we can do it. Because he used my mic after I had used
Y'all gave me COVID.
That's not how that works. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. You gave it to each other by osmosis. Your cells gave it to the other cells. That's how that works between y'all. You exist by budding.
Okay.
But anyway, Mike had asked me the question of why I couldn't stream on Friday because I had to get up at 4 a.m. on Saturday. The reason being not really mattering in the end because the plan that you guys made fell apart anyway because yay technology. But I went to the United States' #1 sized Renaissance Fair, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was awesome. Really great. Fucking massive. Easily, like, I would say twice as large as Columbus and like 1.4 times the size of Bristol in also Wisconsin.
How many Otakon dealers' rooms was it?
Is that the
It's a good measurement.
2.
Oh, wow.
That's
2 Otakon dealers' rooms.
And I would say I would probably fit the Renaissance Festival in Ohio in one Otakon dealer's room.
In one Otakon.
I would say that.
I will say 2 because in the 10 hours I was there, we did not walk the whole thing. In order to attend any event and view them, which were only half hour each per, and I saw 3 events, so that's an hour and a half of my time not walking the vendors. 10 hours. So in an 8.5 hour period, not counting, stopping for food and whatnot.
Hey,
I could not see it all. And we were the first people there. We were like the third car to pull into the parking spaces because we were warned by friends who have been there previously that if you are not in line to park at open, you will not park. You will be parking for 3 hours. And it's true. So once we loaded in and we looked back, the line of cars trying to get into the 3 entryways went back to the highway. It was
suckers.
It was New York City traffic. It was wild. I was like, damn, they're all out here. And it was the Great Bold North Adventure. So it was Viking themed weekend. It was dope. It was a lot of fun. And I will say, unlike Columbus, unlike Bristol, they used their space better. Everything was spaced out wider.
Mm-hmm. So
when I say it's like it was the vendors themselves lined up twice the Oda thing vendors, but space wise, they had like an entire I don't even know the exact acreage, but like I never felt like a sardine can even towards the later half of the afternoon where everyone was there. The amount of peopleage in any square foot area was essentially akin to my home. I was like, I'm comfortable in this environment. All of the introverts who I was with were just like, there's so many people. Why are there
New
people?
York instead of New York?
Oh, dude. I was adding ye old to all the random modern bullshit, especially during acts. Somebody would mention something off the cuff, and I'd be like, ye old Tic Tacs. And this dude behind me at one show lost it to that one. He went, ye old. He must have been shit-faced because he was still drinking while he was behind me. And he must have been gone, but it was entertaining to say the least. But my one disappointment factor is the vendors just didn't match, man. It wasn't good.
Mm.
The shows were great, and the vendors, they had interesting things, but that was only if you've never been to a Ren Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everything I saw was copy-paste, every couple blocks. I'm going to call them blocks.
No random
Even
Magic the Gathering artist.
Yeah. Well, dude, like, you're not going to find those one-off things.
Mm-hmm.
I will say vendor-wise, like vendor quality-wise, Bristol and Columbus have this one beat in breadth of availability and show quality. This one destroyed everybody else. Like the shows that they put on here, these people put their souls into. I went to one called done by a trio called the Danger Committee. Actual like knife tricks, and the knives were on fire, and it was insane. And they like showed like their battle scars from like them figuring out the things and shit that they had done. And like, yeah, so this one we did for the first time last week, and it's only being done for the first time again this week because that time didn't work out too well. So I'm like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, this trick we do once a year. So good on you guys for seeing it. It was wild.
I don't know.
Once a
That
year,
sounds like some rock band. Like, you guys are
Oh, yeah.
the best.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
There's no place like Detroit.
There's no place like
Exactly.
Seattle.
But I will say the one I mean, you're not wrong, but the one friend that had actually been before had said they had never seen that trick before. So I was like, okay, they've gone a few times. I'm like, okay.
All right, every year, the fourth week, we do this one.
Yeah,
we get them every time.
I'm like, hey, say even if it's been a year, because again, it's they don't recycle the tricks every single weekend. That's cool. And there was a comedy bit that was like, okay, they were called Puke and Snot, and it was just real like back and forth
Puke and Snot
improv humor. Okay. No, it was just back and forth improv humor. Which they were on point. Like I'm telling you right now, it started with Shakespeare and ended with a poop joke, but in between was golden. Outstanding stuff. I definitely enjoyed my time. By the time I left, my back and feet were on fire, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like have dust snot for the next like week. But it was a lot of fun.
Go to Ren Fairs.
Is why
Ren Fairs are fun.
There was no group stream on Friday.
Gotcha.
I was at a Ren Fair on Saturday.
There you go.
And required sleep.
Nah, just go in 3 hours. That's all you need.
I mean, everybody else, nobody was making it.
No.
Dude,
we're a group, and there was no group stream.
DA, I don't know how we got that River City Girls cloud thing to work. It's
weird.
Is like we got it to work, and it's like, all right, we're gonna do this, and then 3 years later, we never did anything. But
what's up, Alfonso?
But yeah,
I'm gonna just blame Amber's computer or you, Mike.
No,
I'm happier to blame you.
It's the game. For whatever reason,
you're useless.
The game itself was always considering the keyboard as the first player, no matter what, and I could switch like. Either in Steam or we tried Parsec as well, or in Parsec, I could switch like Amber to player 1 or me to player 1, and player 2 in the game would be whoever that player 1 was, either me or Amber. So I could have, like the thing I could have done was just suck it up, Buttercup, and play it on my keyboard. I don't want to do that though, because that game does not seem fun.
Because you're a bitch.
On a keyboard.
Because you're a bitch.
But there's like one more thing I can.
Mouse keyboard supremacy.
Mouse keyboard supremacy.
I never said that. That's
that
him.
Means nothing to me, sir.
That's him. Down here, that's him.
I always get cooked for using controllers.
There, that guy. That guy down there.
Mouse keyboard supremacy in all times, except near automata. Never mind.
Oh yeah. You shut up real quick.
There are exceptions.
On that game.
There are exceptions.
There's one more thing I can try in Parsec where it's like there's the actual like Parsec arcade that you can invite people to. Like you launch the game through Parsec. That's the last thing I can try. But if not, River City Girls does have actual online co-op. River City Girls 2, sorry. So we might have to do that at that point. But yeah. Kawaka's meme, Alfonso, what's up? Yeah, meme is finally taking the D&D plunge. I'm happy for him. He had his first session where they were doing like character creation and stuff. A couple of days ago, and it was like a 6 hour.
What are you making, meme?
I'll let him answer. I know, but what are you buying? But yeah, D&D, a lot of fun. So, got a bunch of random news tidbits,
Month.
but I'd actually like to lead off where we were basically left off last week, which is MK1. Mr. BG, you've been playing a lot, and like,
bad time. You picked a very bad time
Oh.
because I'm in the middle of texting someone who's in a crisis and trying to help them, and now you want my thoughts on this game.
Yep.
It's a very good game.
How could you possibly know?
yeah, how would I
With,
have known?
with me constantly having my phone in my hand.
Well, you could have.
I just see you
Oh,
looking
that's just you.
down. It'd be like me doing this. Can you do? What's in my hands right now, BG? You tell me. What's in my hands?
You're
Correct.
dang. How did he see it?
There's implications
How
of
do
that
you
statement
know?
that I don't like.
It is. It is the game that MK11 should have been. It's fast. It's fluid. It's very creative thanks to the cameos. It's got so much dirt and so much information, and it's impossible to learn it all, even in a month. It's an impossible. There's some quality of life issues that like pasting moves on the screen. Always been a thing in RS games. It's basically
hey, Polar Knights, what show would that be?
Oh.
Oh, so.
Yeah, I guess
What-
it is.
What are we talking about here?
I mean, like, you know, there's just like the chin. You got the whole like chin strap, Ralph. DA's got the goatee.
I'm just hoping they respond because it's their first time in the chat. They're commenting on the perfect evolution of beard growth.
It is what it is. It's evident on our faces.
Has AI
What
truly
more
grown that
information?
aware?
What would the response be there, Ralph?
Correct.
What
I
do
am
you
just-
believe the response could be, Ralph?
I am just curious on what it is going to be.
All right there, Ralph.
I am just very interested to see. Good
but yeah,
morning,
you were-
and it is what it is.
I mean,
It is what
honestly,
it
hair growth too. We got bald to long hair.
Okay.
But you were saying
well-
something about MK1.
Oh,
You were asking something, Mike, about
Fuck.
MK1.
Dude.
Before I cut you off.
I got
Before Ralph
hella
cut me
derailed.
Terrible, Ralph.
If I can do
That's
that,
an interesting
Yes.
comment.
have you heard what Phil's talking about with?
Oh, that thing's in the nether realm, bruh.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
But what did he say
All of his
specifically?
complaints.
Oh, so many of it.
So okay, I don't know if I was asking this question, but the question I wanted to ask was, so I know in MK11 there was like a lot of like things that weren't allowed in competitive.
Yeah, so what that was originally there were variations like in MK, but eventually NRS was like, okay, we can't really balance variation we want to. So instead, we're just gonna put all the moves a character has in a pool, and then you guys make your own variation. So let's just say you have 3 slots for moves. One move might take up 2 slots, another one might take up 1 slot. Some moves might take up 3 slots. There were specific moves that were so broken that they simply could not be allowed. Scarlet had one where she would put a blood ball down on the ground, and it would stay there for like 4 or 5 seconds. And if the opponent came anywhere near it, it would attach to them for like 4 or 5. And during that time, they could not cancel any move. So if they did a string, if they did a normal and tried to cancel it into a special move, they could not do that. They could not use their fatal blow. Nothing worked. And so you could do a combo into a setup where you just put down the ball, and now they can't do anything. Even if you get hit, who cares? You lost like 11% of your health. So that move was and it took no meter. It was 1 slot, completely broken.
Yeah.
So there were certain moves like that. There is no character cameo move or anything because there's no more variation. You get the moves you get, your cameo gets the moves. It is what it is. There's a cameo that people are really complaining about in Serena because she is super strong. She'll throw 2 daggers. If they hit you, there's a lot of time to just run up and combo, hit confirm it, and it comes back. So it's a boomerang. So you have 4 chances to get hit, and it's a full combo if you get hit. And people are just like, this is trash, but it's already going away. People are already figuring out ways around it. So,
Also, just small technical thing. When you guys speak soft, you like cut out, so you might want to lower the noise gate like a little bit for Discord.
Yes, sir.
But
That's weird. One of these days, I'm gonna figure out that banana voice meter.
voice meter.
One of these days, I'm gonna.
It's not hard to figure out. Hey, if I can get it,
I just don't care. I just don't care. That's the thing.
That's a you problem, homie.
Yes.
Get the caring going.
Yes, that's the thing.
But
Get the caring going.
I care about stream when me and DA streams, and then y'all get the runoff.
We know.
Y'all get the excess.
Yeah. Oh boy, do we know.
We are aware.
DA is so hard to get on the stream.
It's late. I'm a tired baby. I haven't gotten my energy back yet.
He's a baby boy.
But you're helping organize a tournament right now for Michigan, right?
No. I am part of a team.
Okay.
It's a team battle, Michigan versus somebody else.
Okay.
Team. Yeah, no tournaments for me.
Gotcha.
I'm going to just lab the game for at least a couple weeks before I start going into tournaments.
Gotcha. I know they had a like the first big local at the esports arena here in Columbus for MK1.
And they just had the first major at CEO Otaku.
There's another CEO?
Yeah, it's CEO Otaku is centered around anime games. Fighters. So like Guilty Gears, Blaze Blues, those types of things.
The most anime of games, Mortal Kombat.
They were like, look, there's simply not enough people coming to these to justify keep running them. So y'all can not get the event, or y'all can get Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat added to the event. And people complained because, oh, they're not anime. They're getting stream time. It's just like, okay.
Who is the best
character in MK1? Hard to say because you're so dependent on your cameo. Like, it changes matchups entirely. So it's hard to say that one character, because people were saying Astra is the strongest character. And then people were like, no, because people just aren't punishing this move. And if you punish this move, she's actually kind of weak. There's people that think Katana is like a bottom 5 character. And Sonic Fox is like, I think Katana's like high tier as long as you got the right cameo for her and the execution to handle it. So there's really no one answer there. There's so much to do in MK1.
It almost feels like Marvel and DBZF like team composition stuff.
Yes. There's so many options. You can't just say, hey, this is the best character in the game.
It's no Smash Bros. Where it's like, hey, funny block man. There you go.
But there were those in Smash 4. There were those variation tournaments.
Yeah, but I feel like most majors they didn't do it. And some of those again were like BG was saying some variations were outright broken. There were some, like I think there was a variation of Villager where his balloons exploded.
They exploded,
and
so they would just camp the ledge and just boom.
Yeah,
and the other person just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, like like they had such high knockback they killed its stupid early percents. Well, it's like this is dumb. Yeah. But yeah, I can totally see that just in terms of all the cameos and what have you. Obviously, we keep getting the Switch version is the gift that keeps on giving. Keep seeing more and more of that game,
dude.
And it's beauty.
It is so bad.
It is so wonderful.
So bad.
I love it. But yeah, what would you give in terms? Actually, like, how's the story and what have you? Campaign
story is it's fine until the end, and then the end is complete trash.
Yikes!
It's just I'm tired of the NRS structure and I understand why they do it because it's to give people a chance to play the character for a couple matches to get used to him. But I'm so tired of the structure because there are times where it's like, the story makes sense if that character wins this match instead of the one I'm playing as. Or they'll just make up fights to get you to your 3 or 4 fights. It would make so much more sense to just go, and then you'll win the match, and then the cutscene will happen, and your character will get hit and lose.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
yeah, and it's I lost. Like, it just makes more sense to whoever's supposed to win the fight story-wise. Let me play as that character. But again, like I said, I understand why they do it. It's to get people used to the characters, especially casuals. You play Johnny Cage for 2 or 3 matches, you might go, hey, I like Johnny Cage. And then you might actually go play Johnny Cage in whatever other casual mode you want to use, like Invasions.
But isn't that kind of counterproductive? Because isn't it Kenshi who doesn't have like half of his moves for some of the games?
Several people don't. Raiden does not get his amulet until like 2 or 3 matches in, and then he fights another 2 or 3 matches. So you're just you've basically got no moves playing as Raiden for like 2 or 3 matches. He has one special move, and it's a cartwheel. And then once you get your amulet, that cartwheel is just a part of his normals.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's several characters where they're not the characters until they become the characters, and yet you still got to play them, so they just can't do things.
This button is turned off. Why? Just turned off. Keep playing.
You go to Raiden and you go to his move list, and it's just like special move.
What if multiplayer, until you actually got to that point in the story, you had to use the neutered characters?
People would be pissed. They're pissed. They're pissed they have to unlock Havoc. They're pissed they have to unlock cameos. NRS had to put a post-patch spend $20 to unlock everything, because people were like, let me just spend money to unlock everything. They were pissed.
Interesting.
And I don't get it, because people constantly like, why can't games go back to the way they were, where you unlock things for playing the game? And here you are able to unlock things. People are like, no! Give me all the characters now!
See, I think, actually, I'm gonna look that up. Like, there's 2 ways to unlock everybody in Smash. Ultimate character unlocked.
I know it was a hassle.
It's either you go through the story mode, which that's the longer way, or I think it's just you play a game of Smash, like just local multiplayer, and I think it's like it's either after every 1 or after 10 minutes, and then you.
I think it's a time-based thing.
Yeah, I think it's like after 10 minutes, and then you play a match, you can unlock a new character. So times that by like the 70-ish base roster, and I think it's the original 12 are available at the start, so like 60-ish characters. Yeah, took a while. I just played through the story mode because I was going to play through it anyways, and I logged everybody. But yeah, I just know that took a while. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm happy that the game is actually good. And I heard there was a potential leak of not announced DLC as well.
Oh yeah, Ghostface from Scream.
That's kind of lame. They already did the horror movie thing.
They've done it multiple times.
They're gonna keep doing it, homie.
Yeah, they love it. They're from the 80s and 90s, and they love those types of characters. Jade.
There's an important one for you specifically. Yeah, there we go.
Cassie was one. Kung Jin was one, and I can't remember the other guest character. Yeah, she's not here now though. So,
in fact, something
bro,
in the story.
I'm floundering. I am dying.
Trying to find a main, you still don't have one.
Dying. I've been playing Natara the most, but it's like it's not hitting right.
Isn't that who Megan Fox voices?
She's terrible.
I was about to say that doesn't help either.
Same thing happened with Sonya. I wanted to play Sonya, and she was terrible voice. God, what are we doing?
NetherRealms is just like, this guy. Fuck him. In particular.
Hey, did you see the ending of story mode?
Are you talking about the katana scene?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's truly me. I've said it before. One of the main guys there once yelled at me during a stream. So I think in particular he's just like, I'm gonna make sure to him for life.
For life.
For life.
Beautiful. Okay. So, bunch of other news, mostly gaming. Go through the one bit I think that isn't game. Yeah, that isn't gaming. And this is just Drew Carey's a cool dude. So obviously the strike's still going on right now. There is a diner that is across from one of the main areas that people are striking at. And Drew Carey right now there and at a coffee shop nearby has an open tab that is currently at $500,000 and rising, where the people at the strike can just go and eat, get whatever they want.
Okay.
And just like
I didn't know that story, and I thought it was going somewhere else because you said Drew Carey's a cool dude, and you kind of paused there, and I was like, "What?" And then horrible
No.
story comes.
No.
I'm like, oh man, Bob Barker just died out this.
But no, he's legitimately just a cool dude. Just he's
Okay.
paying for everybody's meals right now that are striking in that area, and coffee. Probably.
See, I would have expected that to be a story told of like Keanu Reeves because that fits right in with his whole thing, with his whole caricature. But
There
that
was
reads
a
for him
leak.
too.
There was a leak that we might be close to the end of this.
Yeah, apparently they made it a pretty good offer. It just depends. They'll decide today. If they accept it, we'll hear tomorrow if they accept it. But the CEOs have come out and said that this is the best offer we can provide. So that's what the narrative they're spinning is that if this isn't taken, then it shows clear, unprecedented greed on the part of the WGA.
I would love to just be able to see what these offers were.
Nah, never.
Oh, you're going to. I guarantee we're going to hear all of it.
Well, there are going to be leaks every now and then. What a segue, huh, Mike?
Indeed, PG. Speaking of leaks.
Thank you.
My roof has a leak. Anyway,
Damn it! Come on, Mike.
wait.
Yes, and Mike. Yes, and.
You know, it was really windy here the other day.
You know, you expected Mike to pick up on something. That
I
was your
picked it
first
up,
failure.
but I started laughing just because BG. Good segue. Oh,
As
boy.
I said in the beginning,
the Xbox
flop.
leak. So, there was a document, a bunch of documents that were leaked as a part of the court case for the Activision
Oh yeah.
acquisition, where a lot of different stuff about Xbox's plans over the last couple of years leaked that they didn't want people knowing. Among those leaks, Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be an Xbox exclusive. After, you know, multiple points of like, wait, don't worry, PlayStation fans, you'll still get Elder Scrolls. No, they won't. Oblivion and Fallout 3 are potentially getting remasters, which I like both those games, so that'd be cool. A new revamped Series S and X consoles are going to be coming out later next year with a new console, like next gen, coming in 2028, which is actually pretty far away. It's 4 years. And then the kicker is, and people just don't know how much money Nintendo has in the bank. That
No,
quote,
they do.
he really wanted to buy Nintendo. He really, really wanted to buy Nintendo, calling it a, quote, career-defining move. And that he thinks that both companies would benefit from it, and that Nintendo just needs to see reason. Nintendo fine.
That's not what it's about. I understand where they're coming from in that regard. If Microsoft were to buy Nintendo and offer to take care of the hardware aspect of their releases, while Nintendo is able to focus primarily on the software development, in the way of games, proprietaries, and all that fun stuff, Nintendo could benefit from that in a massive standpoint.
But at that point,
But
any
Nintendo's too proud.
Any of these companies could benefit from that. Microsoft
Oh,
could
yeah.
benefit from being a pure third party.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Sony could benefit. Anybody could benefit, but they lose so much from console sales from
And-
putting
Yes.
people into
And
the
I
ecosystem.
honestly don't trust Microsoft in
No.
that regard because of
I
their
don't trust
current
Microsoft,
because of
period.
their current history.
You should not.
They have so many of these franchises that are just sitting over here. So why should
And
I
then-
expect them to do stuff with Nintendo franchises when they're not doing anything with their own? And that's why I don't trust
And
that.
the ones they own, the big tentpoles, what's the last great one that they've produced?
Mm-hmm.
Because even something like Starfield was already getting made. Even if you want to say Starfield is great, it was already being made absent of Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So what is the last great thing Microsoft Studios has started and produced and finished? And I'm not talking about the Forzas because that's mostly we could just put that out every year and a half, 2 years
Mhm.
cycle type of thing. Sort of like a NBA 2K where
Mhm.
if last year's was good and you're just doing the same thing and slightly improving upon it, this year's is going to be good too. Like what's the
You're
last?
looking at it from a consumer aspect, though, and that's the problem. You have to detract from that
But
entire
they're
thought.
looking
Well, no,
at it
I'm
from
not honestly
a-
looking at that
No.
from Nintendo has to look at that and being like, okay, I have all these other examples of like, hey, you acquired Rare. What the hell have you done with that? you've had
Look
Fable
what they've
sitting
done
there.
with Pokemon.
You've had
their
that's
own-
that's
their
not
own
that is
games.
not Nintendo's fault. That's not Nintendo's
It's
fault.
only released on Nintendo, Mike.
The Pokemon
They
company
haven't structured it to make sure it's compounded well.
the Pokemon
Their own
company.
material, they have mastered.
Listen.
Hold on.
Pokemon
what have
company
they
control.
done-
Pokemon.
What have they done with Pokemon?
Mike is never.
I'm sorry,
gonna
I'm sorry,
finish
but
this
I
sentence.
want to
I
get
was trying to
this.
I
But the
was
thing
trying to
is,
get
it's
one out
Nintendo
earlier.
doesn't control the release of Pokemon games. The Pokemon company does.
I don't care about that part. What have they done with Pokemon? What do you mean?
He's talking about
They
the
put
quality
out
of the. He's talking about the quality of the games, and because
They put out an ugly game.
Oh no, dude.
They put out an
The
ugly game that
community
performed
has
poorly.
despised the past two main gen games.
they've
Okay,
sold
they
amazingly
despise
well.
The past two main game. Are they despising
It's
Pokemon
Pokemon's
Go?
going to.
Are they despising Pokemon Go?
I'm dead.
Pokemon Go is not a mainstay game.
But at the end of the day,
I'm saying that they're still producing Pokemon content
Oh, yeah,
that
of course
people
they are.
love. Even if they produce the past two mainstay games that weren't great, even that's not Nintendo, understandably. But what are they doing to Nintendo if they're still selling 17 million copies of it?
Of course.
It's not like a Halo.
Well, I'm not
whatever
arguing
the
on the
last
side of
Halo
Xbox
was.
here
Infinite.
or Microsoft. What I'm saying is here at the business level of this whole thing, they run
This is
their
bullshit.
own. They run it the same way Microsoft runs their company, just at a smaller level when it comes to their
Oh,
property.
I disagree.
no, yeah,
Microsoft,
same.
Microsoft runs their company with infinite growth in mind. Nintendo does not run their company.
Nintendo is conservative as shit.
Yeah, no. Microsoft wants, and that was basically Phil's thing. They're not understanding you can get that yearly growth that all these publicly traded companies should want.
And Nintendo
Nintendo just
Nintendo
prefers
does-
control.
Nintendo moves at their own pace. They want to do their own thing, and they are sitting on a mountain of money that they have in reserve for whenever a bad Wii U happens or something along those lines. Yeah, Pokemon is a bad example to look at in terms of Nintendo because they have zero control of when those games release. It is not on Nintendo, it is on the Pokemon Company. The Pokemon Company times everything Pokemon related around each other. The games, the trading cards, the cartoon, all of that. That is why Pokemon can't delay their games. Because then they'd have to delay the trading cards, the manufacturing of that. They'd have to delay the production of the anime. They have to delay this. They have to delay that. It is an entire media empire. That's the reason Pokemon
Hypermarketability.
games
I understand it.
suffer.
The Marvel stuff.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like looking at Mario, looking at Zelda, looking at Kirby, those series, Animal Crossing, that's the stuff you look at when you want to actually talk about Nintendo proper. Pokemon, they're over here. They are their own monster. But yeah, Nintendo, historically conservative company, they have a image and are super protective of all of their IPs. They want that vested control. and they want to make sure that they are doing right by those IP themselves. And all they have seen Microsoft do is either shelve franchises infinitum, or, as BG said, when's the last good Microsoft-only game that has been pushed? The last big franchise was Halo, and it was mediocre.
Ralph, do you think Nintendo would release Redfall?
Would they release a game? Nintendo themselves, not Pokemon Company, Nintendo themselves would release a game on the quality of Redfall.
We saw the Wii U exist, remember?
And they
what game was on the quality of Redfall?
Yeah, and all
do you remember the zombie shooter?
That wasn't Nintendo. That was
Zombie
Ubisoft.
U was Ubisoft.
That was Ubisoft, or that was a Nintendo game?
No,
because Ubisoft put it out on the other systems after.
We are talking
with
Nintendo created and produced games.
Understood. I thought that was one of them.
Nope.
No.
And the fact that you're going back to the Wii U, which is
Wii U is I don't really pay attention to Nintendo games that much, so I really wouldn't have an understanding. So I have no input on that whatsoever.
They would not.
Yes, correct. They would push that game out 5 years.
I can't think of the last game they've developed and published.
As somebody who has had zero interest in anything of the content that Nintendo has put out in the past 15 years. Got nothing.
Yeah. Nintendo, their games are polished, and they make sure that they are ready.
They have no premise for me. As an entirety. Nothing they've put out interests me.
Sure. That's fine. We're talking quality, not your interest. And Nintendo...
Well, I'm saying I wouldn't know.
Yeah, Nintendo will delay the shit out of a game to make sure it's of quality.
I'll take your word on that. Maybe I'll read up on that later or something. But for right
just
now,
like, I don't see where Nintendo would have any interest of wanting to be acquired by Microsoft.
Oh, of course not.
Be a type
I was never saying that they would want to. I would never say they would try to, but Microsoft would figure it out. I'm sure.
And I don't see where Phil's saying it would benefit both. I'm not seeing it because I'm not seeing Microsoft succeed in the realms that they would need to in order for that to actually make sense.
Microsoft has the most first-party studios. Microsoft has had a lot of first-party studios for roughly 7 years, and they have done nothing. Essentially nothing.
There's so much from Rare alone that they could make. So much.
What they have is Game Pass. When you think Microsoft these days, you think Game Pass. You don't think a game they made. You don't think a game they produced. You don't think a game they published. You're thinking Game Pass. Because it's such a deal, so many people latch onto it, that they kind of gloss over the fact that Microsoft is not producing quality games. I'll tell you the last quality game they produced, Hi-Fi Rush.
There you go.
Hi-Fi Rush this year was the last.
And that was a surprise.
And that was a surprise. It was dropped. They went, okay, we're happy with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then before that, I got nothing for you.
I will also say, Meme, that No More Heroes is not a Nintendo game either. It's a third party. But good games though. But yeah. But yeah, just they'd also mentioned a couple of other companies that they were looking into acquiring. Well, I think there was like they had a list, but then they narrowed it down to like Nintendo, Sega, Square Enix, and Zynga, who makes Candy Crush, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds right.
But
it's the mobile company.
Yeah. But yeah, just nothing has obviously spawned from that, and they had enough trouble acquiring the current company they're trying to acquire, which is looking like is finally going to happen. The UK has finally approved the acquisition of Activision by Microsoft in the UK. And I think it's like an official ruling or what have you. I think it was just approved, and then the official ruling will happen mid-October. So
October 18th is the last day.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. It sucks. And it only sucks because we are just kind of creating an arms race to swallow up
Oh, yeah.
as much content and developers and publishers as possible for essentially the big two of the console makers, 3D style big AAA stuff. I'm not talking Nintendo, I'm talking about Sony. So you've got all these people making wish lists, and I would love for Microsoft to acquire Sony. I mean, not Sony, but Sega. I would love for Sony to acquire Square Enix. And it's just like, these games have been mainstays of third party, second party, whatever, for generations. And now we're not creating new things. We're just removing value from the competitor. We're just taking things away from other people. And I hate
Correct.
it.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how business goes, unfortunately.
And it doesn't help.
And it
erase the
sucks.
competition.
It doesn't help that a lot of the games as of recently, there's been a lot of samey games.
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't have a problem with samey games because I'm about to pre-order Spider-Man 2. What is Spider-Man 2 but an Assassin's Creed where you swing, or a Arkham City where you swing?
Correct.
I'm more or less talking like, I'm trying to think of good examples. Like God of War and Horizon. Like, there's a lot of these games that do like the pseudo RPG, like level up system and what have you. Spider-Man does it as well. The Tomb Raider games, Horizon, God of War, both new God of War games, Far Cry. Just there's a lot, like, there isn't a whole lot of innovation in that regard. Honestly, it's one of the things I love about the Tales of RPG is how you get abilities and level ups and what have you. There's like, typical level ups, but then like how you get more abilities and unlock things. They make it widely varied every game. Every single game. And
hey, do you know how you got your best abilities in Legend of Dragoon?
How?
You had to hit your edition 80 times, and you had 3 to 5 editions before you unlock your ultimate.
I know exactly what editions are.
Yep, cool. Your special
Moving
move.
on. Not even explaining it.
Nope.
It's fine.
No need. Everyone should know the greatness of Dragoon by this point, and if you don't, you're a peasant.
Because I think it was like Tales of Vesperia, you got abilities through weapons. And so like, usually in most games, it's like, oh, you get a new weapon, you immediately sell it or something. But in this game, you actually had to use that weapon for a certain amount of time and a certain amount of battles to actually keep the ability that was on that weapon. And then you could like fuse weapons and get new abilities and what have you. So there was just like this whole system of weapons and abilities and stuff. I think that was Vesperia. There were titles in 1 or 2 of the games where it's like you get abilities by having that title. And just more and more and more. Play the Tales of RPGs. They're very good. Besides,
some of them.
I don't even remember the one I hate.
There was a stank patch there. The Zillia time of.
I like Zillia and Berseria. Wait. Zestria and Berseria. Sorry. Zillia is the one I'm thinking of, yes.
Yeah. Zillia and Zillia 2.
Yes. Both of those.
They just mostly reuse the assets.
Yeah. Symphonia, Vesperia, Graces, Zestria and Bersaria, and then Arise was very good. There's a Legendia on the PlayStation 2. That one was whatever.
Too far back.
Yeah. I mean, Symphonia is really far back too. It's just they've released it 18,000 times.
Yeah, I swear by that one.
Yeah.
I need to get up on it.
Let's see here. What else do we got on the docket? Couple of different trailers for some games. We got Dragon's Dogma 2, which I never played the first one, but I heard a lot of good about it.
It's good.
And this one also looks very good. Basically explaining all the different classes and how there's like kind of combination subclasses and what have you. Kind of like almost reminds me of like 3D Octopath in a way, like 3D action Octopath in terms of like the class structure and what have you. We got that. I didn't watch it. I meant to, but then we got a new trailer for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
I'm not gonna be watching anything from that game.
I also will not be watching anything from that game. I need to get through with the Yakuza game.
How far are you?
I'm still in 3.
You know why? Because these mugs begging for this Final Fantasy, and we gotta play through that to do a revisited.
I need to get past 4, 5, 6. The man who forgot his name, or I think that's what it's called, the one with Kiryu, how he got into Infinite Wealth. Maybe play Like a Dragon again, and then get into that one.
I've already downloaded Like a Dragon again because I'm playing with mods this time. Thank you, sir.
Mods.
Yeah. There's fun mods out there.
I will also say, like, granted, you don't need to play these for the Like a Dragon and Yakuza games, but Judgment and Lost Judgment are both very good too.
Yep, that's over there. That's gonna be after the Yakuza stuff.
Hey,
and then...
you know what? I started playing Judgment.
Hmm.
I don't like it.
Really? Because it's not turn-based?
Brawler. Because it's a brawler.
You suck.
I knew it was going to be that. And the detective aspect is not fun enough to make up for the brawler aspect.
You're so weird, dude. Like multiple things! Like multiple things!
Like multiple things.
I like so many things. There are only as
small list.
But if turn-based sniffs anywhere around a franchise, you're just like, it's not that!
Yes! But I've never been a fan of the Yakuza games. I had played Yakuza. I had started Yakuza 5, I think, and I had played Yakuza Dead Souls, which was like a shooter one. I have just never been into them. And then Like a Dragon came out in that turn-based, and I went, all right, cool. Just like, if Persona was always a brawler, I don't know if I would play Persona. I don't play Muso games. I would be playing One Piece Pirate Warriors if it was... I played One Piece Odyssey. It was turn-based. I just don't like brawlers. What do you mean, shake my hand? People cannot like genres.
This is why I wanted webcams. Because I shake my head a lot on these podcasts.
Two things. I don't like brawlers. I don't like tactics. Real-time strategy stuff.
Fire Emblem and what have you.
Those two,
or did you play
out
Fire
of
Emblem?
here.
Didn't you play Fire Emblem?
Yes. And I ain't like it like that. I ain't like the combat.
Okay.
But I liked enough of the story and the characters to muddle through it.
Gotcha.
The combat is actually a very small aspect of that game. So it's just like, cool.
All right. At least you're consistent. Because I didn't know it was like I didn't know it was an across the board thing. Like,
yeah, no, it's a brawler thing.
Just because I'm the same way with MOBAs, and like I just have a hard time also getting into whatchamacallit, roguelikes.
Really?
I'm just not. I'm typically not a fan of like you just have to keep playing it over and over and over and over and over. Like I don't know. I like a full just beginning and end of a story.
Speed runs.
I like watching them. I don't know if I'd ever do one. But let's see. Crap, I lost my place. There we go. A new trailer for... Every time I see this game, I'm more fascinated. It's probably going to be played on stream whenever it comes out. Pal World. Do we know? Have we seen this game?
Dude. Pokemon with guns.
Yeah, speaking of Pokemon, it's just a monster kind of collectathon, except there is assault rifles and indentured servitude to borderline slavery of your Palmons, or whatever the hell they're called. Just look up a trailer. It's fascinating. I might pull one up here in a second. Yeah, it definitely. I don't know if it'll be a full playthrough on stream, but it's gonna be on stream because that game looks ridiculous.
Just play it, yeah. It looks stupid.
But Oh yeah, we were talking Like a Dragon. Yeah, I need to. That actually, honestly, in terms of just like gameplay, where like the Judgment games, like the combat is so in depth in terms of the combos and the different styles and what have you. I know Zero is basically a remake.
Zero has a bunch of styles.
Is a remake, but then after that,
1 has a bunch of styles. 2 does not.
Okay.
3 does not.
I know it goes back to like the old formula, which was like,
roughly
yeah, it's like more simplistic. So I know that'll probably be like a bit of a hump.
And the story's not good enough to grab you while the combat is not grabbing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are still simplistic stories that are still trying to find their way onto the ground, or still trying to put their foot on the ground, trying to make their ways. You can see the little glimpses there, but it's still not quite there.
Yeah, it's on my list for sure. My ever-growing list of games to play.
I don't know if 0 is the first one to play, because there's a lot of things that went over my head, such that once I get done with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, I want to go back to 0 to get all the stuff that I missed. Because in 0, I recognize stuff from 7 that were there, just like little side characters and stuff like that. So I'm just like, and there's a whole lot. There was like a taxi.
So should I start with 1?
There was a fortune teller mission where she was telling your fortune, and it was just like, you're gonna be a taxi driver and stuff. I'm like, this is all stuff that's gonna happen in the future. I can't even read this. And then some dude walks by and he was just like, oh, he's never gonna be important. Literally said that. I'm like, yes, well, clearly he is. I don't know who that is. That's a big clap moment for somebody out there, but not me. So start. I don't know. I will make a definitive list once I finish up.
All right, 5 years from now, definitive list.
Hey, perfectly fine starting with Like a Dragon though, because that's what I did. And
I have a playthrough started. I just haven't gone back to it yet. Like I think it was like I booted it up, but then I got distracted by something, and I just haven't gone back to it. It's on the PlayStation 5 though. It's there. Speaking of which, in terms of games to potentially buy on PlayStation 5, if you ever want to try and play the Marvel's Avengers game, if you're curious, it is 90% off right now until the end of this month, in which it is gone forever.
Delisted.
Gone.
Not forever, potentially.
Off of online stores.
For now.
Yes.
Because Marvel vs. Capcom 3 went through the same thing, and then like 4 years later, they were like, all right, we're putting it back on storefront.
Okay. But it is $4 right now, so it's dirt cheap. And I would say, honestly, if you're going to get it on...
complete edition, too.
Yeah, if you're going to get it on any platform, get it on PlayStation, because you get the Spider-Man DLC, which is not available anywhere else. So, I would just say, get it there. I was going to get it on my PC, and I was like, wait. I'm pretty sure they never...
Are there mods for the PC?
Probably.
There's always mods on PC.
Probably.
Always.
But, you know, you're missing out content. So if I'm gonna pay $4, I'd rather get everything.
What do you mean? If I'm gonna pay $4
for a game I never planned on playing, but it's just like, hey, I don't want it to like suddenly get the urge to play it and then not be able to legitimately.
I mean, you could. There you go. There you go. That's what I was looking for.
I knew where that was going.
Don't be surprised if you see a bunch of keys getting snatched up, and then in like a year and a half,
oh yeah,
cost $60 to get a key for Avengers. Because the same thing happened for Alpha Protocol. It got delisted, and it is currently $80 to get Alpha Protocol. And that is a game nobody cares about but me.
Did the same thing happen to Jump Force?
Maybe. I'll look it up.
I don't think it did.
Just the tone. I don't think it did. Oh boy. We got reviews coming in for the Cyberpunk DLC. which is getting really good reviews, including
It's getting insane reviews.
including just for, the DLC itself and also just what it did to the game, the base game, and that it actually pulled a No Man's Sky, which is bonkers.
Yep.
Lightning can strike twice.
It is. People are saying this is the game we were promised, and that's insane. I love it. I am looking forward to finally playing it. I have not touched it because Baldur's Gate and Renfest this weekend, but probably next weekend I'm going to take a crack at and launch it up. And
they actually recommend that you start a brand new file.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do regardless. Because 2.0 patch, that's regardless of Phantom Liberty. Because Phantom Liberty itself didn't change anything. Phantom Liberty added stuff. It's a DLC. The game changed because of patch 2.0, which allowed you to play Phantom Liberty. They changed the skill tree up. They changed how the game plays. They changed all of the mechanics. Everything is overhauled. And Phantom Liberty just adds in a whole bunch of spy theme, because the whole Phantom Liberty is a spy thriller, which that's exactly what everybody was hoping for with fucking Cyberpunk, would be some like dark, gritty, like fucking subterfuge type bullshit, because it's this big capitalistic fucking hellscape, and you're just operating from the fucking grunt level and work your way up to fucking legend status. Like, everything was too... It lacked subtlety. It lacked creativity. And now we've got it. I'm looking forward to playing it.
Man, you can actually add balance work and other things to a patch. Nintendo? Smash? Please?
Nope.
Please?
It's done, Mike.
Please?
It's done, Mike.
It's
done, Mike.
You're just hurting yourself.
I know.
Here's a question.
But a boy can
there you
dream.
go.
Steve remains.
Would you be fine with a balance patch if it meant you get a new, completely broken character? So they balance everything. They change everything.
That isn't Ridley. Specify. That isn't Ridley.
I don't think that they can buff a character so much that they're as hard to deal with as Steve.
You say that.
It honestly, it really depends on
Suddenly
the character. If it is a character that the buffs reward them going in, then I'd be fine with it. Because it honestly, it would get down to that nitty gritty. But if you buff like Sonic to make his spin dash even more dumb and broken, and for him to run away even harder and spin dash and spin dash and spin dash, then no. No, I would not.
Think of an upper mid-tier character that they overbuff.
Somebody like a Sephiroth, that he would still have to get in.
Give me a buff Falcon. Give me a buff Falcon that's just like hard going in and Falcon punching left and right. I'd be fine.
Incineroar. Busted Incineroar.
I mean, I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah, but Steve, his issue is he'll stand on that corner of the stage, put up some blocks, and you don't have too many options. If you go up and try to break the blocks, he can just forward smash you through the blocks. If you try to go above, he can just do up smash and just get you that way. So you have to approach him all the time while you're thinking about doing how do you get in. He's just getting all of his resources up. And so he's playing a no-lose game while getting materials to beat you harder. So if you rush in and make mistakes because you're impulsive and you're just like, I can't let this muff mine, he gets eating you up.
Sounds trash. It is. Y'all should not play that game.
That's why people are banning the character. So actually, we had a local, one of the guys from the tournaments that we go to runs like a smaller-ish local at his company. His company's letting him use a boardroom. We're having like smaller-ish 16-man brackets, which is me saying a small 16-man bracket. I know there are some locals that get like 8 people and that's it. So
I've been part of those.
Yeah, Columbus is pretty flush. But Steve is legal, and the guy who runs this tournament, he likes to do really odd stage lists. And basically what he had was, it was like, monoplats were a bucket, no plats, dual plats 1, dual plats 2, triplats 1, triplats 2, and like variations and what have you. And in one of the triplat buckets that he had. It was like you banned a couple buckets and the person picked a bucket and then picked a stage in that bucket or something along those lines. I forget the exact ruling, but one of them had Midgar, the Final Fantasy stage. And that stage, if you like go into it and like, you know, run around on it, the entire stage is made of metal. And I was playing against a guy who normally plays Steve, but he's banned at most of the other tournaments, but we didn't ban him at this tournament. And he picked Midgar, and I'm like, after he picked it, I was like, oh fuck. He's just gonna get iron. And that's all he fucking got was iron, gold, and diamond. He just had minecarts and anvils for fucking days. He had iron blocks, which I could not hit through. I'm just like, this sucks. This is.
I don't know if you remember, but depending on the stage, Steve can mine better material. So if he's like on a dirt stage, he'll get more dirt. He'll get the iron eventually, but it'll just be a lot of dirt, and dirt can be easily burned through.
Yeah.
So God made dirt, so dirt can't hurt.
What?
I'm sorry. It's lost on me. Do you speak English? No, I'm sorry.
I want that as a sound alert because it was so dumb. But
you have the power, Mike.
I do. But yeah, I probably would character dependent to answer your question. If it's a character that thrives on interacting and not camping, then yes.
Buff Pyra Mithra for all I care. Just get Steve out of here.
Buff Joker. There we go.
Hey, I'd take that too. As long as it isn't like they just use gun and still try and go in. But and then the last bit of news that I have is Unity is kind of backing down on some of their changes.
Their new one is fucking amazing.
So do you understand it more?
If developers pay $200,000 at signing to use their software, they can now hide that their game was made with Unity. Whereas prior, it was contractually necessary to showcase that, hey, this game is made with Unity. Here's the logo. We have to have it. Now, they've been given freedom to say, hey, you can pay to not have our shit on lock for you. You can hide that you're still using us and keep using us. Keep paying us, please, because you love our software, but now no one knows, and no one needs to know you're shilling. It's like the equivalent of Elon Musk's initial blue checkmark rollout for Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad.
Like the one thing that I'm seeing is just like for games that are subject to the runtime fee, we are giving you a choice of either a 2.5 revenue share or the calculated amount based on the number of new people engaging with your game each month. Both of these numbers are self-reported from data you already have available. You will always be billed the lesser amount, which I always find interesting. Where it's just like we're relying on you to give us the information. What if they just don't give you the information?
Bingo.
What happens?
Then that makes them. Then now Unity can actually go after them for damages and failing to yada 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 yada,
Properly
failing to report yada yada yada, yada. So they're trying to not be the bad guy by being an even worse guy. It's like, yeah, we're giving you a loophole that will punish you for later.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a gift, and don't look at the gun. Here's the gift. Don't look at the gun.
Yeah, I think like just the revenue sharing model or what have you, where it's like it kind of counteracts the fee or something along those lines. Some developers are like more okay with it. Excuse me. But then there was a one stipulation in the clause where it says, on an annual basis, we evaluate and adjust pricing across our project portfolio. So one of the devs was like, they can shove that 2.5 up their ass if they can change it at any moment. No word on that in an update. So there's still weirdness and randomness and what have you. We apparently lost a Ralph on the video, but I'm assuming.
Good. Get him out of here. Oh, no, wait. Actually, he's still here. Never mind. He's a good guy.
I'm assuming cat-related issues or something. But that's all I had, unless you guys have anything else we can wrap up.
No, we are getting out of here.
Okay. Mr. Factman.
70 facts about God.
Wow, that was super quick. What was,
Was that a
Because I
reference?
forgot
ah.
for the entire podcast.
There we go.
Saw that time and went, oh my God, no.
Wait!
Wait a sec. Say.
There we go.
Oh, my Christian thing made Botchamania.
Yeah, I just saw that on Twitter. Congratulations! Now you just have to win a major.
I can't tell you how much I want to win a major. I cannot tell you.
Actually, also
Gotta
while
be
we're
the
getting
guy.
Those facts. I meant to look up this trailer before for Pal World. Let's see, gameplay Tokyo Game Show. Let me throw this up on stream. Full screen. Here we go. Oh, it's a bit.
Oh, for the facts, I'm gonna go 4. So we got a 4, a 54, a 69.
I can't go.
What number was that, Ralph?
42.
60.
What number does
What?
Nehru want?
Nehru said 13.
Okay.
4, 13, 54, 69.
So here is the trailer. And then
Yeah.
there's the buff arms and legs.
This game is just insane.
I feel like this shouldn't be allowed.
And
Here we
yet,
go. Here we go. Make the guns. Make the guns.
I feel like this shouldn't be allowed.
I saw this a while ago.
That's
I thought this was a
collectible.
joke, bro. I thought this was a joke. I did not
Nope.
think this was real, and yet it's fucking real.
It is very real.
Yeah, this shouldn't be allowed.
And yet it's being allowed.
It's happening. And guess who's
I-
playing it on stream? We can all play it. It's multiplayer open world co-op.
Calm down. I'm absolutely down.
It's
I
gonna be
am-
the worst thing in the world.
1 billion% ready for this.
We might as well play Redfall.
Hey, Microsoft is doubling down and saying that it will return like fucking No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk.
Okay,
That ain't never happening.
lightning can't strike 3 times.
They going for the 3P. They going for the 3P.
I have no trust in Microsoft to do that.
Oh, no, you should
They've
not.
already moved on. This was not a game that was like, we should fix this for the goodwill. People have moved on. We're moving on.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to close the studio like next week. Like that's it. They're done.
Oh, yeah, I'm wearing a shirt from the company.
Yeah.
Oh, Arcane?
Yeah. It's
They'll be gone next year.
It's Dishonored.
Oh,
They'll be gone next year.
all right. What we got?
I don't.
As part of budget cuts, we will be closing the studio for no real reason. Ignore that.
54.
54.
Anko.
In 1970, Arizonan lawyer Russell T. Tanzi filed a suit against God on behalf of his secretary, Betty Penrose, seeking $100,000 in damages. Penrose blamed God for his negligence, allowing a lightning bolt to strike her house. When God failed to turn up to court, Penrose won the case by default.
Who do you send? The
Who
letter
paid
to
him?
collection?
Who paid?
For collectors? Who
What?
do you?
What was his name?
Did insurance now have to cover it due to no fault? Like completely out of
You
pocket?
know what? That would be a
Russell-
smart way to go about it.
Russell T. Tanzi, Tansie.
Got
Like
it.
the court just says, "Yeah, you got it. You have to cover this." They won the court
He didn't
case.
show up, and then it just like light appears on the.
All right.
You understand? Like
I just need to say I have Googled this man's name. The first thing that came up is lawsuits against God, plural.
Yes.
Great.
multiple?
Lawsuits, suits.
This dude went
Because they were
about
just
it.
like, "Oh, this is just free money," because the mother's
Yup.
not gonna show up.
Nope.
Free
Oh.
money from home.
Well, we're gonna
The
find
government,
out.
clearly. Insurance companies, clearly.
It seems like a racket, though.
There's no
Oh,
seams
that's a
about
racket.
it. You can drop the seams part of that. It is a racket.
They have found the ultimate litigation loophole.
There
Blame
have
God
been
and win.
4.
Foul!
Four.
Get in there!
Somebody.
How on the third time do you not feel embarrassment?
Where's the
walking
fucking
into the
sound alert?
courtroom?
I need the fucking sound alert right now. So,
That dude is winning.
Oh, boy!
there we go.
Get in there! Foul! Foul!
We have the aforementioned Betty Penrose. We have Ernie Chambers.
Oh, boy! Get in there! Foul! Foul!
We have Ernie Chambers that was in 2008. Here it comes again.
Boy! Get in there! Foul! You asked for it.
I did.
Foul!
I did. This was in 2008.
Oh,
Up,
boy!
I should probably set a timer on these.
You are not used to this.
You ask for something and then you get it. You like, why do I have the thing?
You are not used to these
Oh,
animals.
we got foul! We got foul of the foul!
So,
Perfect.
in the U.S. state of Nebraska, State Senator Ernie Chambers filed a suit in 2008 against God, seeking a permanent injunction against God's harmful activities. As an effort to publicize the issue of public access to the court system, the suit was dismissed because God cannot be properly notified, not having a fixed address.
Throw it up in the air and no, then you could be like, case law Santa Claus. And you'd be like, he has an address. It's like, but he's fictional. We've made that address up. So if we can make up an address for this fictional person, we can make up an address for a real person, correct? And then where you go from there?
I'm looking up a very simple question.
Who
Where is it
pays?
legal to sue God?
Let's say there is a God. How do you approach them when you die?
Oh yeah, it's like,
Hey, you fucking
What are you
sued me!
doing?
4 times you sued me, dude. Why do you think you're getting in here?
What do you, it's like, oh, we've been waiting for you. I'm pulling that lever myself.
Here's your court
Came
documents.
down personally.
Here's your $100K that I owed you, and button to go to hell.
I've never seen God. What's going on here? Who is this
Are
important
they
person?
invading? What's going on?
No, I guess God's just a petty person.
So that was 2008. In 2005, a Romanian prisoner identified as Pavel M., serving 20 years after being convicted of murder, filed a lawsuit against the Romanian Orthodox Church as God's representatives in Romania for failing to keep him from the devil, essentially stating that his baptism had been a binding contract. The suit was dismissed because the defendant, God, was neither an individual nor a company and was therefore not subject to the civil courts of law's jurisdiction.
Why did other lawyer man get all those dubs and he caught an L?
All these were in the 2000s. That one was in 1969. Different times.
Yeah, they were just like,
And then-
you suing God.
And this last one was in 2016. Shadan Kumar Singh, a lawyer from Bihar, India, sued the Hindu god Rama for mistreating his wife, the goddess Sita. So the actual
What type of white knight and bullshit is this? Where you
I will take care of you, baby.
I'ma sue your husband on your behalf.
I'm coming for you,
He
Rama.
not treating you right. Let me sue him.
The court dismissed his case held on February 1st, 2016, calling it, quote, impractical.
He's just like, homie,
Wow.
what are
That-
we doing here?
This is
We
amazing.
live in a society.
This is amazing. The fact that this has a dedicated wiki is amazing.
Cause there's
Oh, the bad shit,
everywhere.
Cyber. The bad shit.
Or the good shit. It really depends on your fucking perspective.
It's the fucking
DA,
worst
DA
of shit.
saw that head cock. What we got?
According to Singh, the fact that he banished Sita despite her undergoing the test of holy fire to prove her chastity is a cognizable offense. And
Wow.
now I have to look up what is the test of holy fire.
I think it's in the name. there's
Save yourself a Google.
It might involve fire. It might involve fire, and the fire, believe it or not, might be holy.
and you might need to walk through it or be burned by it.
No, that's a big difference there.
Wow. Wow. All right.
We learn new things about this world.
With that,
we stream, folks.
we will
Things
call,
we don't need to know. Who
Yeah,
knows?
we will-
Things we don't need to
we
know.
will call this podcast a close tomorrow. I think we're finishing Pikmin. I keep saying it, and then there's just more fucking game to play.
Hey.
It's a good game.
Hey, isn't this Hollow Knight?
Yes.
do the same
honestly,
thing to Hollow
yes. The game just kept getting fucking bigger. But I think I'm actually at the end of the road now. It's 1 to 2 streams at a minimum. So we got that. Wednesday, more randomizer. We're at a point now, especially if we divide and conquer between me, Gavin, what have you, all the people that are doing the randomizer, might be able to actually finish it. There's actually also, boy, did I have a panic attack last Wednesday. Last little story before we end the cast. After I did the birthday stream with the randomizer, had the file, what have you, over here. My computer, within that week, there was a Windows update. And the gaming computer took longer than everything else, and I found that to be weird. And now I think I realize why, is because it probably failed the update and then went back to a system restore point, which happened to be the day before my birthday, where that file, thankfully, I still had that same initial file. I had copied it and renamed it just so I could find it easier. So the last Wednesday, I'm looking around. I'm like, I can't find the file. That's weird. Looking around. Did a search. I found like the save file inside of RetroArch for the ROM. I'm like, it's just gone. I don't know what fucking happened. It's just gone. Then I like pieced together. I'm like, I think it was the update. So I was really bummed. I'm like, I have to start over again. The game crashed on me and I lost an hour. Now I lost like 6. I have to start over a fucking again. And then I'm like, Gavin, could I at the very least, or like, I'm like, Meme, can I get your file? He's playing on the Wii U. Like he like put it onto a SD card and and it's a different file type. I'm like, fuck. So and then Gavin gave me his. I'm like, okay, at the very least, it's gonna be different, but what have you. And I opened Gavin's. And it opens up, it doesn't have his save file, it has the test file that I made for the original ROM, and I'm like, wait a minute. I make a copy of the file, rename it the exact same fucking thing that I named it on my birthday. My save was there, and I was like, I'm a genius. I'm a god. It was like a media programmer brain. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Logic chains. Pew, 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 pew. Like, I'm like, how does this work?
That's not as fun.
I was almost very depressed, and then I got depressed during the fucking playthrough because we were running out of options. Hella quick. But anyways, next Wednesday, probably gonna finish up the randomizer. I will not be available for group streams and what have you during the weekend, so probably no, at least for me, a group stream, no podcast next week. And then also Tuesday Trials, Smash Tournament. You can see it
we're
is.
not doing a podcast. Maybe we'll do a bad movie day Sunday. For
There you go.
Enjoyed that.
Not a bad idea.
The week after is a bit sketch because we gotta get up and get out. And
But
get
when are we
something.
getting up?
We gotta be there. Eric was just like an hour before.
Okay. When's the flight?
It is 8, and it's an hour to get there.
Ooh, yeah.
We're going on a cruise.
Mhm.
That not this coming Monday, but the Monday after. That doesn't sound right.
No, because the upcoming Monday is tomorrow.
It is.
It's the Monday after next.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
We
we're not
could
having a
always do the
we're
podcast
not having
earlier.
we're not having a podcast anyway. It's fine.
It's on the 9th.
3 of us won't be available. Yeah.
So.
Or wait,
so
not
Saturday
on the
is
9th.
The 30th.
Yes.
The 9th, that's 2
You're
weeks from
going
now.
next week.
Yeah, and then
We're
we're gonna.
going the next
Okay.
week.
Hey,
Well, we could do it earlier if that's beneficial for you guys.
that would be beneficial for us.
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just do it earlier then.
Yeah.
Just know I will be watching football while we do that.
Of course.
Shocker.
All right. So
word
potential
there.
no podcast next week. The week after it'll be earlier in the day, so these guys can get some sleep and go on a fun cruise. Whereabouts are you going on the cruise?
The Bahamas.
Bahamas. Nice.
Going to the Bahamas. That'll be interesting.
Caribbean area is a fun time. All right.
I expressed doubt, and they went whatever we've already paid.
We've paid.
All right.
Happening. We got antibodies.
There you go. All right. With that, thank you everybody for tuning in to this episode of the Podcast of Stuff. We won't be seeing you next week.
We'll see you next time. Let's be simple about it.
Nah.
Later.
I gotta say next week. Bye-bye.